Hello, everybody. Welcome back. We're live and on the air, and we're going to go right over here in Rutherford County. Going to go to the northwest part of Rutherford County, and that would be over to Stewart's Creek High School. And the head coach of the Stewart's Creek Red Hawks, Ben Caudill. How you doing tonight, Coach?
Hey, Coach. Excuse me. Hey, Stuart. Good to be with you, man. How are you?
I'm doing good. Well, it's hit you. It's hit everybody, and now you're at the point where you've got way too many kids that it's not necessarily they have COVID, but you do have a bunch that have been in that contact tracing, and you don't have to give me a lot of numbers or anything, but it is really ran rampant through your football squad, and so you just decide that we've got to halt the brakes here a little bit and reboot.
You're definitely right, Stork. There's obviously not anything specific that I can give in regards to anything like that, but they're really, really concerning, and obviously these types of decisions are not made in a vacuum. I'm really, really blessed as a coach. We have three guys on our staff that have been head coaches before. And there's a lot of wisdom in our room. We also have a coach who's, coached in college for over 30 years and is, really, really, just been around the block a while. And, this is something that is obviously affecting all of us right now. But at the end of the day, it just comes down to being able to put a team on the field. And when you can't do that, you can't play. And, those are decisions that nobody wants to make, especially when it's a home game and a region game. But at the end of the day, when these decisions are made, they're not easy. But, I've got to do what's best for our program. And, I was able to talk to Coach Turner, Coach Matt Turner down at Warren County. They have unfortunately had to cancel their first 3 games.
Wow.
And he told me that, I've never talked to Coach Turner actually before today. And so we had a long conversation today. And that was a conversation I initiated with him on just kind of how to get through this. And he told me that one thing that really helped was their entire school system, shut down and was able to kind of stabilize their numbers a little bit. And that's not, something that's happened for us. So at the end of the day, Stork, I had to kind of take matters into my own hands and, really, really zoom out and not just think of this as a football coach, but, just big picture and say, hey, how do we regroup from this? How do we salvage a season, and move on from this? And so we've totally shut down our, football program right now. We're not even lifting during the school day. We're not practicing, obviously the rest of the week through Labor Day. And so, come next Tuesday, we're going to, regroup and resume football activities.
And is that resulting also in a little bit of a cleanup in the facilities, as well as, just kind of take note of just wiping everything down of what you got and just going over everything and just trying to take a look at what you have?
Yeah, Stork, that's actually something, in our weight room, it's we've got 2 different weight rooms, and, those are cleaned after every single class period. Our locker room is sanitized every single night by our custodial staff and that type of thing. So those things have kind of been ongoing even before, this recent breakout, and that's obviously something we're going to continue to do.
Well, man, and it's important, and we have so much to learn from each other. I talked to Coach Rankin and earlier in the show, and he was telling me how a lot of his players stepped up and just took the vaccine, and I was just like, wow. And he said, well, that's just the way it is. It's where we are, and they decided to do it. And, those that do, and want to and everything, that's taking the initiative. And, it's kind of where we are. The people that lived on the earth before us, they had to take shots, and that's where we are today. So, if you want to lessen the numbers, because what are you doing? All you're doing is playing the numbers. So if I get a shot, my chances are greater that I will live and be able to go on. So you're just trying, there's no guarantee, but we're all just playing the numbers, and I think that's where we're trying to get to. But I am glad the FDA has approved it. So if a kid wants to or whatever, and it's not that you're advocating because, I'm sure Mr. Spurlock has told you all there's certain things you can say and certain things you can't say. And that's based on, you're, like I was telling Coach Creasy today, you're a public employee. You're paid, a little bit different, and you have a much greater risk because you're a public official.
Yeah, you're right, Stork. I think that, there's a lot of things to consider with, all those things. And obviously we can't be an advocate of, a vaccine one way or another. I know that several of our players have, and that.
Congratulations to them. Yeah, but, applauding them, as they move through what they decide to do. Good for them.
And at least in regards to our policies, if you are contact traced and you're vaccinated, you are able to make the choice of whether or not you're going to be quarantined. But, whether you're vaccinated or not, if you have a household, family member that gets it, there's a 17-day, window there where, you are quarantined regardless of whether you're vaccinated or not. And obviously we have several that, fall under that umbrella. And so, here's the thing, Stork. I think that, when these types of things really break out, if you're positive in our county, it's 10 days. If you're a household contact, it's 17. Obviously, we have several that fall under both of those windows.
Yep.
And the tracing as well is 6 days, no symptoms, you can come back. And, really by design, these things take much longer than 7 days, to really get a full cleanse, that type thing. And it's really hard. These decisions are really hard. I have so much respect for, Oakland and Coach Creasy. We were able to play that game last year, on a whim, and that was a conversation that I initiated with Coach Creasy, and me and him go back to, the time where I was there coaching with Coach McDaniel, and obviously Coach Creasy came in and we met and interviewed, and I've worked with Coach Connor on the previous staff there, and I'm with Coach Jackson, their defensive coordinator, on the East-West staff this year. There's so much mutual respect, and obviously none of us, signed up for this. I talked to Coach Creasy on Sunday night, and I said, hey, we're meeting today, and we're putting a plan in place with what we have. And unfortunately, right before practice Monday, we, got word of several players, and Tuesday was, a little bit more of an avalanche with that. And so I tried to do the right thing and let him know as soon as I was able to, make the call.
Nice job, Coach. Nice job.
And, like I said, Sunday, I spent all weekend working on, getting ready. And unfortunately, as of Sunday night, we said as a staff that everything's going to have to go perfect this week to, from a number standpoint. And it became very obvious, there Tuesday that, we weren't going to be able to, play this game. And I hate it for both seniors. Anytime you have to cancel a home game, there's financial implications. There's implications of just, there's just a finite amount of games for, these high school players to be able to play. But at the end of the day, I've got to be able to lay my head down at night and know that I've made, the right call, ethically and morally, and most importantly, doing what's right for our program as well. And, I'm definitely able to do that given the facts that are on our side.
Coach, if you do that, that'll put you back. You'll be at Franklin on the 10th of September. What do you think about that?
Yeah, honestly, right now, Stork, I mean, it's we're just in full cleanse mode, trying to, regroup as a staff and as a football program. I mean, there are so many players that I have not even seen in a long time right now. And so, obviously, I'm checking in with them and their parents and making sure, number one, that they're feeling okay. And number two, ever since last Friday, I've just been working on, what our return dates are and that type thing. And so I messaged out our parents today that, we're going to resume practice on Tuesday. It's always kind of a gamble to not, practice or to practice on Labor Day. I just felt like for us, we need that extra day to, just get through some of these, quarantines and whatnot. And so, really excited. I've played at Franklin High School multiple times, as a coach, back when I was coaching at Brentwood. I know that they're going to be, really, really excited to play. They play really well at home. Coach Melton does a great job coming over from Summit High School, where I believe he called their defense. And so we definitely got our hands full. It's going to be our first road game, Stork, obviously, since we hadn't played in a few weeks. And so obviously there's going to be that component as well, getting on a bus for the first time, those types of things. So definitely excited just to get back to practice, next Tuesday and get back to work.
Well, the only thing I wanted is you got to keep something. You got to keep something out in front of you. As my mother says, you got to keep something out there to keep a carrot out there to keep you hungry. And that's just the way the human mind thinks. Well, Coach, be safe. We hope you have a great Labor Day. If there's anything we can do, just let us know. But we'll see you soon.
I appreciate it, Stork. Have a good one.
Take care.